In the front of the strip, we don't have any big parking lots anymore, big driveways. This is an old Italian restaurant that was owned by the mob. Look at it. What doesn't it have? Windows. They didn't want to get wasted eating their calzone here. That's how crazy the mob was. You think I'm kidding? Did you see the movie Casino? 90% of that film was real. It took place at the Stardust Hotel. They didn't have to script a lot. We'll show you where the Stardust location is in a few minutes. They had a term here in our city. It was called 86 somebody. Usually, you know, that means throw them out of someplace. Here it meant 80 miles out of town, 6 feet under. It was a true saying. There was actually a lot of people at the mob here that they took care of that way. Good example, about 12 years ago, I lived 9 miles out of town here in North Las Vegas. Out there they were building a charter school. Construction people found a body. They called, checked it out. They thought it was a Native American, so they shut down for a week. They found out it was a mob hit from 35 years ago. Back then, nobody lived out there. It was all open desert. The guy pulled off the highway, put on his headlights, dug the hole, and there's a guy in the hole. If you notice in the movie Casino at the end, it says a lot of people are sleeping over folks that have been all wasted up there in Summerlin in that area. Totally true. There's a lot of that out there in the desert. But the mob, in many ways, they were good people too. If they liked you, they really took care of you. One of the things to this day that still stands because of the mob, they didn't want any Sunday selling of new automobiles. So no one can buy a new car in this town on Sunday. And that's been that way for 70 years. They wanted everyone at home after church, sitting together and having a good time. Before they went out that night and planted a guy on the ground, that where the charter school was going to be. Now this little mini casino, when I lived here in 70, 71, I was a 20-year-old lad working a radio station, DJing on the weekends. And I remember these, there were 20 or more of these around town. This is tied to the lease to the restaurant, that's why it doesn't disappear. But it was very unusual in the day. See the sign there even said groceries 24 hours. That meant that you could go in there and get some stuff to take home. No other place around here back then. If you're staying at the Westin, don't tell me, because that means you're a boring person. That's a non-gaming hotel. Who would want to stay in a non-gaming hotel? Well, some people do. Oh, you're staying there, sir. Have a nice time at the Westin. Right down here, this post. Right where the bus is, you'll see writing up about 15 feet tall. That's where the car crashed. Tupac Shakur was in it that morning.
Oh, wow, where?
Right here. When I came out, I was gambling that night at Ellis Island. I saw all the kids around here, wondering what was going on. They caught it in the tree back there. And they painted over the post 3 times. But see all the lettering on it, all the writing?
What lettering?
He was shot. Came here, did a U-turn, crashed in that pool. Went down the street a little bit more, the cops finally got with him and they took him to the hospital. 6 days later.
This where Tupac was at. Rest in peace, Tupac.
That was the night of a Tyson fight.
Oh, wow.
Scuffle over at MGM on the jewelry.
That's where Tupac died, y'all. In this area, in this strip. The legendary. Get you down to see the show downtown, so we're going to go a little bit of a back way so we don't worry with the strip. You won't miss anything. We'll come back on the strip. You'll be able to see everything. And I want you to see the show at the top of the hour. We'll get down there by then. There's your high roller. 500 feet. Takes a half hour to go around. The ones with the flashing red lights pre-COVID. So you can drink in a half hour. It looks like a giant Christmas ornament. From a distance, you don't see the wires. All suspended.
Now we got ringing of the year.
That was built about 16 years ago. Are you going to hold me to it? Get your Google out. Let me know. I don't know exactly. About 14, 16 years. This is the Sphere. This is going to be a big ball. It'll be 18,000 seats. Why are they building it here on the other side of the Winter Floyd parking lot? By the way, look at the size of this parking lot. It goes from here all the way down to that traffic light, and it's filled for all the shifts normally. Not now. COVID, they're working skeleton crews, but when things were jumping, here, they're going to have 18,000 seats. Why here? Well, they don't want it by the strip because they have parking available on the other side. I think what's going to happen is simple. Part owner is Sheldon Adelson, who owns the two big casinos right over here, the Palazzo and the Venetian. The other owner I know very well. He's a billionaire in the cable business. He fired me years ago. He fired everybody in the cable business, Jimmy Dolan. Jimmy's kind of a character, but he's a bright business guy. He owns Radio City Music Hall. He owns Madison Square Garden, and he owns a little basketball team you might have heard of, the New York Knicks. I think he's going to sell the Knicks, come here, and open his new NBA franchise right there in the Sphere. But I could be wrong. He fired me. What can I say? Sands Expo, that's the old logo for the old Sands Hotel. It used to stand on the corner up here. Ancient history. That's when the Rat Pack always appeared in 1960. Now I'm going to show you the side of this hotel. When I Ubered, this was to buy highlights. If I could come in here at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, this is the most beautiful front to a hotel, country club, anything in America. Take a look here. You don't even get the full treatment. This is the side entrance to the Wynn. Look how gorgeous it is.
Wow, this is nice.
It is unbelievably beautiful.
Rolex, Vinci, Louis, Dior, Chanel. My bottle.
Up ahead here, you have the little twerker fountain. She's incredible when she's on, but she's asleep right now. She'll come on later. I call her Miley Cyrus. She goes crazy. This is the Wynn Memorial Gardens. You can see the waterfalls back there. Great views here. Across the street, there's Fashion Show Mall. 250 stores.
My bad, thank you.
Keep an eye on the Wynn sign right here. It doesn't sweep. It's the only one in the city that does this, multi-million-dollar sign. It will go up and trail a picture with it. Very, very cool.
That's nice.
There she goes.
Oh! Look, Trey. Oh, wait, turn that up.
We gotta come
She
back.
just does everything on her own. She's kind of crazy.
Oh, look. Wow.
Yeah, Miley Cyrus here down the way at the Bellagio. Those are more like rock caps. Very stylized. This gal's just twerking it all day long. Oh, here it comes. If you're going to get to see it, I don't know. But on the other side, we'll see it done. Let me do it. Now, the Wynn Hotel is always rated for service, number 1 or 2. Why?
There's a bigger one.
You know how many people they have? There it goes. It's sweeping up right now. See how it goes from picture to picture?
Oh, there
the
it
boot is
is.
actually carrying it up.
Oh, wow.
Pretty neat, huh?
That's what's up. You guys
Stick
live.
with this big green mountain here. Everybody goes, Steve, why do you have the big green mountain here? We can't see anything. He said, aha. He wanted you to walk around the big green mountain because once you did, you were hooked to this gorgeous on the other side. That's the kind of marketer he was. He was a smart dude. Now, getting back to the odds here, when you come here, for every 3 guests, they have 1 employee. Every 3 guests, 1 employee. That would be the CEO, a pool boy, whatever. But you get phenomenal service here at this hotel. On the corner, we're going to get up here. I want you to look to the left. You see those stairs that go up 3 stories? For years, they were just gray. Regular gray stairs. About 7, 8 years ago, they had a meeting. Someone got together and said, you got paint in the back room. They painted them the LGBTQ rainbow colors all the way up, and every day 100 or more people come there and take selfies. Brilliant marketing. People come there for paint. The cost of paint, it doesn't get any better.
They got a beanie hunter right there.
So there are the stairs. You look at them as they go all the way up 3 stories. Rainbow colors all the way. There's the entrance to the Wynn. Over here on the left, there's your Trump International Tower. They were going to have 2 of them. The recession hit. They were going to be all condos. They never did plan to build a casino here at all. So basically what happened, 21% of that is now condos. They couldn't sell any more condos. Cosmo and here, they had to fade their temps, not build the second building. Now he's there tonight. He was in Henderson. At least it looks like it. All the big buses are there. Whenever he's there, he stays up at the top in his private suite. He was in Henderson for a speech today. Right in front of here, this is where they had the old Frontier Hotel. I got married in the wedding chapel here. We'll see it later in the tour. I got married in there October 1970. It's been moved 3 times. I saw in 69 the Supremes here. Wayne Newton worked here 5 years. The Frontier was a big hotel. The Frontier has some history. The worst marriage of any showbiz duo. And you'd never believe it. Elvis was here and he got booed off the stage every night for 2 weeks. This was the period when he was the rock and roll. They couldn't show him under the waist on Ed Sullivan, the early part of his career. Who do you think they teamed him with? You'll never believe it. Liberace. The women that loved Liberace and all that stuff hated Elvis. He went to Colonel Parker and said, I'm never coming back to Vegas again. This sucks. I'm done with this town. Well, he went in the Army, did some movies. The Colonel came back with a little contract with lots of zeros on it. And he opened the International Hotel in 69, about 10 years later. And he ended up doing 832 shows there. So, fell in love with Vegas eventually.
Rest in peace,
Now, the
Elvis.
Colonel and Elvis had a strange relationship.
Always believe in
Most agents
yourself.
Get 10-15%. You know what Elvis gave the Colonel from day one? 50-50 split. Handshake agreement. All those years. The Colonel made a lot of money.
Yeah.
Here's the Encore Beach Club. Dad, if you come there when it's open, you stay in one of the cabanas early in the morning to bring you your pina colada. Just the way Phil Cummins would be beanie and high heels on, the way you get your coffee in the morning, right? I do that with the wife. After 20 minutes, I got to take my high heels off. They really hurt.
Huh?
But I look good in the Speedo.
Huh?
This guy's ready to throw up. Hey, during COVID, I was out here with, hey, see the man in the Speedo.
Okay.
All right, that's the only underground tunnel under the strip. Yeah, that's the road. It goes right under here. You just out over by the convention center. Now, Steve Wick was a really interesting cat. The other thing that he did, he didn't have to do it. He spent millions of extra dollars for the curved steel and glass to build these 2 hotels. He had already built the Treasure Island, and he'd already built down there the Bellagio. He came here, and these were going to be his jewels. So, when you see the curve here, it's unbelievable. He spent millions of dollars because he could have built straight buildings. Good job, Steve. They look fantastic. But he didn't want that. He wanted something that he thought looked bigger.
Steel because like that.
That boy. Encore.
It's owned by women.
No.
Lots of traffic tonight. Once again, all the Cali folks.
I don't even know.
Oh yeah, believe it or not.
We normally get about 22% of visitors on a weekend from
Like
California. Now it's 40 to 60%. Because no international visitors. All Americans, and many people aren't flying.
Remember I had that app for the bus.
Oh, true.
The silent strip. Can you hear it? You know, it's amazing. During COVID, they did none of this work. They could have been out here every night. I went down this street, second month of COVID. Put the camera on the window, went down, told the wife, I'm going to be feeling really bad when I come back. I was sick to my stomach. I left around 1:32 in the morning, Friday night, Saturday morning. In front of the Plaza Hotel downtown, Fremont Street Experience, I saw not one human, not one automobile. I came down here, saw maybe 10 cars in 9 miles. A few people riding bikes, and that's it. Coming back, I smelled gardenias, and I could hear birds chirping. There's the curve of the Encore. Look how deep it is. Isn't that amazing? So that just goes to show, after 2-3 months, the ecology begins to change. It's really crazy. The sad part, 400,000 people that night were out of work, sitting at home. All right, overhead, this is where the Stardust was. That little hotel that the mob had, they were here for 37 years with it. They had the Lido de Paris show for many years. And it was a wonderful, beautiful little place. But guess what they did? In 2005, they said, we want something bigger and better. So, bam, they blow it up, and comes the recession. Nothing's been done here since 2005.
Finally, they're building this hotel. These folks own the largest hotel in the world in Malaysia. And they're going to have 4,000 rooms, over $4 billion in counting. This is Resorts World Las Vegas. Now, as we get closer, you can see there on the left. Can you see little dots on the building on the left? That's 40 stories of those dots. That is a billboard. It already works. They've shown it to us on July 4th weekend. The quality is unreal. That will be the billboard, the whole half of the hotel. Imagine. No one has a billboard that big in the world. 40 stories tall. Are they the insane people out here?
Mm-hmm.
They've been out here since 7 in the morning.
Barbecue?
Tacos El Gordo, we're in Tijuana, San Diego. I love Mexican food. 8 times a week I eat it. But here, I never come back again. You know what they don't have here?
What?
Refried beans. How do you not have a restaurant without refried beans? You know what you get with your tacos here? French fries. But look at the line around the corner. 3 weeks ago, it was 114 on Saturday. We went by 4 times. That line was just that long of people waiting in 114 degrees to go inside. Hey, if I'm hungry, I'm going to Wing Shack. There's nobody there. Let's eat. They probably catch a deal, give you an extra wing. It's probably really crummy. That's why I don't think it's there, but what the heck. These crazy people, Tacos El Gordo. There's one out where I live, and they have cars going around. It's an old Jack-in-the-Box one driveway. And I go by, and I know it's a 15-minute wait. They're sitting in cars for 15 minutes. Crazy. On the right here, look all the way down, you'll see a sign that says Las Vegas. That's our convention center, the largest in the world, goes for blocks and blocks.
Look at the line for tacos.
Holiday, we had the Consumer Electronics Show last year. We had 140,000 attendees a day in there, plus 40,000 support people.
I look, he want to go somewhere else.
You're getting ever larger. We're building the addition way here to the right. That's all the new part of our convention center.
That's a restaurant?
On the left, Circus Circus, so nice we named it twice. 51 years old, you can see the thing, the adventure go to the back. There's a full roller coaster back there. The rides, there's the big
I said, remember those landmarks.
Right, here's how it went to be. This house to be blown up 7 years ago. Opened in 1955. Off-run. You know who the first guy went through was?
What's that?
Yeah, $1,000 a week. That's 100.
Yeah.
That is the best sign in town, right there, that Circus Circus portico. None better. That is Las Vegas style right there. Sign 51 years old. Look on the right, still hanging down, wood thrown off to the side. Up on the side, there are holes in the building. Those are windows that have fallen out. They've done nothing with this building for 12 years. This is originally the Fontainebleau, became the Drew Project. It's 63 stories tall, the biggest, tallest building on the strip. The only people that are up there. Like that for 12 years. On the far right,
They ain't do nothing to it?
69, the International Open became the Hilton.
Listen, I ain't going up there.
For real, that's
I ain't going up there. Hey, don't pick me that
Over there on the other side, you see that building with the red stripe? That was where OJ got busted that night. Went out and served 6 years in Ely. That was, now he was behind there in the mountains with the billionaire buddy who plays golf every day. Here's your Sahara Hotel. That opened in 55. Used to be the largest, best hotel in town. Now it's barely keeping the doors open. We don't even know if it'll still be able to survive. Things change. Right over here on the left, 110 rooms. Opened in 1941 before the war. It was the coolest little place. I stayed there when I was 5 years old, coming cross country in 52. It was called El Rancho Vegas. They had a huge windmill with blue neon on the outside. That was the logo. The pool, they'd always have pictures of celebs. You'd see a major star sitting there. Something up a martini in a tweed suit, John Wayne or somebody like that. They loved this hotel. Well, what happened to it? It burned down in 1960. Howard Hughes owned the land for 40 years, and they can't build anything there now because of underground water. That's right, no heavy building will ever be built there. The guy that just bought Circus Circus for $825 million demanded this as part of the land, and goes all around the back to Circus, and he's talking about building the largest water park in the world right here.
Wow.
He does. He won't see it. He's 84 years old. His partner's also in the Trump Tower, and he owns Treasure Island. Now, if you're staying in Las Vegas behind the bus, and you're telling people you're in Las Vegas, you're not telling the truth. Behind us is Enterprise, Paradise, and right now you're in Winchester, Nevada. That's the legal name of the property right here.
Family
The
trip.
hotel.
That'd
This
be
is
a huge family
Winchester.
trip.
Las
There we
Vegas
go.
does not start until the other side of this street. That's officially the city of Las Vegas.
That'd be a big
Now we
family trip.
call
I never-
everything Las
okay.
Vegas, but bottom line, the city starts right here. Straight up there is your Strat, 1,100 feet, tallest building this side of the Mississippi. The big shot in the middle, 60 miles an hour, you're blasted up with 16 other people. On the far left is Scream, it's a sled ride that comes out. And then on the far right, it's like a tilt-a-whirl that comes out. That's called Insanity. But I want you to keep the eye on that little white light up there. As we get closer, you'll discover it's a blue box. That is the sky jump. Right up there, you never know when they're going to do it. One step down they'll go. It takes 14 seconds. They come down real speed, 62 miles an hour. They jump 855 feet. You can do it tomorrow. It's $125.
Oh, up there.
Also up there, top of the world restaurant, Great Grub goes around once an hour. They buried up there, Little Chapel in the clouds.
Imagine working up
here
there.
up there at the top.
Imagine working
Ah, Insanity's out. Can you see it's spinning to
The
the
little
side
shuffle?
over there? There it is. Now, if you're sitting in the seat side by side, guess what happens? Halfway through the ride, your seat goes straight forward, and they make you look at the ground. How much fun is that for $15?
Oh, wow.
They're out of control.
$50.
Now, did you see the movie Vacation with
You
Chevy
talking about
Chase?
this ride? That's a
Remember
ride?
when he was in the pool naked? That was the pool right there where that palm tree is. Years ago, they shot it here. This was an old motel, now made into a custom apartment building. It was supposed to be
What's $15?
Albuquerque, but welcome to the movies. They shot it here.
I think he talking about that, is it?
There's the camera. It is set. The little dot to the left up there. There's the blue box. So maybe someone will jump course right here, right now.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to see. I've seen it hundreds of times. And usually they put their arms out, and they say that relates back to our DNA coming from fish and birds.
Wow.
Would you jump from up there? Look all the way up.
Oh, that's that ride thingy,
There's
majigger.
our brand new sign.
That's that ride we were looking at, remember? That's that ride.
Gateway Arch being finished here. They got a
Oh,
racquetball
wow.
tournament going on the right.
Oh, wow.
Set up those skip records last.
Oh, wow.
Like that Insanity ride, huh, Dad? Can't wait to do it.
What is
tomorrow,
that?
Dad. That's totally crazy. Now, our day tours, we go to the left over here. That's a neat area called the Main Street Art District. If you're out about exploring,
Okay.
I recommend it. There's no gambling down there. There's really neat.
That is a
music
ride,
shops, bars,
y'all.
shops,
All the way up there. That's heaven.
There's our new city sign.
They touching heaven right now, man. That job. Yeah. That job is touching heaven.
That's my, one of those farthest down that way.
Look at these fancy restaurants. Look at that, y'all. Y'all look at
Vegas
that.
became a city in 1905 before that.
Looking like a skating rink outside.
1880s, the Mormon missionaries showed up. They discovered water. They loved it. They stayed. Then about an hour from here in Boulder City over there, they built a dam in the mid-30s. Early World War II, the mountains over here to the east. That was the beginning of Nellis Air Force Base, today home of the Thunderbirds. So everybody that was living around here, a lot of people lived downtown. It was an idyllic life, about 7,000 to 8,000 people. Wonderful. Went on and on and on and on. But then, about 35 years ago, everything went south. Downtown turned to garbage. Nobody wanted to go down there. It was horrible. Casinos didn't care. It really was grunge.